Welcome to YellBro Road. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna react to some of Marjorie Taylor Greene on CNN denouncing, splitting up of the nation, talking about Epstein and Israel. I guess a little bit of Trump, and also we'll hear some Trump statements as well. Maybe about Nick Fuentes, maybe about the whole Epstein thing in general. But first, check this out. Wait, wrong one. There we go. Piers Morgan saying, "Why did you just cancel our interview at the last minute, Marjorie Taylor Greene?" Which is from about 4 hours ago. About 4 hours ago. I guess she was going to go on there and she canceled. Now, it kind of implies something when you put it out there on Twitter like that versus, texting or whatever, calling an agent, calling her office. Maybe they couldn't get a hold of her and she just kind of just disappeared. I'm just saying, I think that's worth looking at. I mean, who knows if she got called in? It's like, all right, enough of your shit. All right, talk to me, aka, Trump. Come on, Marjorie, sit down, talk to me. We need to clear this up. You're making me look bad. You're making me look bad. Which might be why Trump is doing the whole PR change around on the Epstein topic. But just wanted to point that out as something interesting. Obviously, before I get started, don't forget to share support. Hopefully, donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, so please join up if you feel like. And obviously, everything I show you in this video will be linked in the description box for you to watch and listen to on your own. Yada, yada, yada. All right, so let's get into this. So this is the first clip I'm going to go through. You can see from Ryan Grimm. Here, Marjorie Taylor Greene tells Dana Bash about the reporting we've done on Epstein's links to Israel. If you only get your news from CNN, you'd have no idea what she's talking about. They refuse to cover it and then treat her like she's nuts for bringing it up. Let's take a look at the clip. Here we go. Let me make sure my volume's good. I just forget my volume every time. There we go. Here we go.
Ask you about something you posted just yesterday on X. You questioned who and what country is putting so much pressure on Trump to keep the Epstein files hidden. And you included a picture about donations from pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. What are you trying to say there?
Well, I think it's the question that many Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that the Oversight Committee that I serve on has released. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein with ties to Ehud Barak. We saw him making business deals with them, also business deals that involved the Israeli government and seems to have led into their intel agencies. And I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC. I don't take money from any special group of people. I'm just representing my district and the American people, and so that's what I was referring to.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying Israel is pushing the President of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you...
Now, hold on a second. That's a big leap there. But although it's a worthy question, it's just you can kind of lead there instead of just jumping right to that and kind of ignoring the first portion of what she was saying there. There has been leaked emails besides the Oversight Committee, like Ryan Grimm and Dropsite News. If you've looked at that, you've seen that there are emails showcasing that Epstein was actually like kind of brokering deals between foreign countries, and he's supposed to be some random, you know, billionaire rich guy, gallivanting around the world, just having party vacations, right? It's kind of like the idea, like, oh, he's, party guy who's, got involved with underage girls and all that stuff, and maybe even dove into it business-wise with trafficking, right? But the idea that he's brokering business deals not between the U.S. and someone else, but between Israel and foreign countries, other countries. I forgot exactly which country it was. Shit. Fuck. I forgot who it was. It might have been Egypt. But either way, it's like, why is he brokering deals like that? He's not that's supposed to be like an actual, government envoy or, ambassadors or like shit like that. A statesman, not random billionaire guy. So that brings up worthy questions about who this guy was involved with. And yes, I see plenty of signs in regards to the intelligence community, both U.S. and Israel. So that was worthy of what she said, or what she said was worthy. It's just no real acknowledgement of it, and skips right to, okay, so you're saying Israel controls everything, huh? Like kind of jumping right to there. It's like wait a minute, you didn't even take the what I just said seriously. You're skipping over it to try to paint me as something. Hopefully Marjorie's smart enough to figure that out, but who fucking knows at this point? Here we go.
And so that's what I was referring to.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying Israel is pushing the President of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is the case?
I simply just asked out loud, is there a foreign government? It could be any foreign government, but is a foreign government pushing to keep this covered up? Because people just don't understand the big fight against.
Well, you had AIPAC up there. It was pretty clear which government you were talking about.
That I'm questioning that government in particular and questioning any other foreign government.
Okay. But she should just stop trying to avoid the, here at anti-Semite bombs. Don't, walk past them. They're nothing. And go right to the point. But yeah, I'm investigating Israel. Because guess what? We have fucking evidence pointing in that direction, along with the U.S. intelligence. Just be blatant. No reason to dance around and play politics with Dana fucking Bash. Now you outsmart people like that by being truthful and honest. That's how you outsmart little weirdos on the in media. They try to throw you curveballs and try to make you look bad. Nah, I am who I am. It's it is what it is. But yeah, I'm telling the truth, but you don't have to believe me. But I'm saying the truth. This is my honest feeling. Yada, yada, yada. You could do that. Pretty simple to do. But once again, these guys, everyone likes to play politics nowadays instead of just being upfront and blatant. Let's continue to another clip where it's going to be a little bit more tilted towards, I guess, what was this one? This is oh, okay. The divide in the country. And I haven't watched this yet. I watched a couple seconds, but I haven't really watched this yet. And I'm hoping that she's, trying to break down the artificial barriers of left-right politics. Right? Anyone that tries to push in that direction, I instantly look at you're full of shit. When I see Alex Jones, it's the Democrats. When I see Kyle Kowinski, it's the Republicans. When I see that shit, bro, it tilts me because it's so obvious not the correct diagnosis for things. It's I say this thing sometimes where I'm okay, I think a Little League coach would be better than the government, the presidents, and the presidents we've had, throughout the years, throughout my lifetime. I think a Little League dad would be better than that. When I say Little League dad, I don't mean Democrat, and I don't mean Republican. I mean just a person. They can have certain politics, that's whatever, but they're more likely to actually mean what they're saying in regards to politics. Whether they're tricked or not, or whether they're ignorant or not, they at least somewhat mean it, versus these motherfuckers we get year in, year out, whether it's in Congress, or the executive branch, and judiciary as well. It just seems like we get full of shit artists over and over again. I'd rather have someone that doesn't know how to play the game. Thus, their only actual ammo is just honesty. I'd rather have that, even if they're ignorant. But anyways, let's see if Marjorie Taylor Greene can pass the IQ test in regards to my opinion, in regards to the left-right divide in America. Here we go. I'm sure it's going to be canned. Kind of canned and politically correct, and make sure I don't offend anyone with what I'm saying. Here we go.
Congresswoman, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at
The
other
life
people.
of a
It's not
pirate.
new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry
start.
for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
So just to put
Okay. Here's my critique of this: is that it's not hard biting enough, which means you're kind of going to miss out on reality itself, right? It can't just be nice to each other. I would think she would want the idea to be honest with each other, actually honest. And I mean, she's been there long enough. She's been around the media long enough to recognize, like, yeah, some people are like straight up just lie. Like, they will actually just lie to people, to other people. Maybe she's done it before, you know. So, like that has to go first. Hey guys, let's not lie to each other. Let's be honest. Let's be really honest, because a lot of dingbats out there think when Trump calls Joe Biden a communist, far left communist, you know, they buy it as reality. And thus they match up Biden with some random kid protesting in fucking Portland, as in like they're the same thing, when they're clearly not. Or whatever people, you know, Biden calling Trump, like not calling him a Nazi, but saying he's like dog whistling to the far right, which I guess would be neo-Nazism, right? Meanwhile, it's like Trump doesn't represent them either. Well, I mean, some people are a little bit, let's say, wavy on the little riding the waves with it. You know, Nick Fuentes a little bit, or it depends on if you praise him or not. is where his opinion goes, but kind of like Trump, actually. It's crazy on the surface, at least. But yeah, what needs to happen first is honesty. That I want to realize I'm not talking to a fucking bullshit artist, because then we can't even conversate, because you're gonna lie to me at some point here, or you're just lying outright altogether. So once again, being nice is not the answer. Being respectful, sure. Like, oh, I will respect your opinion. You can say it. I'll let you talk. Whatever the fuck, right? That seems to make sense to me. But I don't have to be nice to you. If you say some stupid shit, I might get angry. But guess what? It'll be honest. It'll be a righteous anger, not a, you know, bullshit thing, like fake anger at you just to make you slip up or to make you look bad. Right? That's what we need to get back to. Get back to. That's what we need to get to. Because I don't think we've ever been doing this, honestly. And I mean, beyond politics, just regular society. There's a lot of people that bullshit for a lot of different bullshit fucking reasons. I'm just saying. But, okay, whatever. Canned political answer right there. Let's be nice and be respectful. All right, here we go.
Put a button on this. You regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama. Just examples.
See, like that, I'd be like right there, Marjorie should know. Like, okay, what? I understand what you're doing. I get what you're doing. Like, be upfront and honest. The answer should be upfront and honest. That's all you got to do, Marjorie. And these motherfuckers are lukewarm water that you can walk through. They are zero resistance when it comes to truth, honesty, honor, integrity. These motherfuckers got nowhere to go. And she had that set up, right? She had that ready to go, possibly expecting a different answer from her. right? Possibly expecting a different answer. Where it's like, oh, well, you're saying you want, that the left wing's crazy? Well, guess what? I got this response for you. And Dana Bash called an audible, probably. And, all right, I'm just going to shit on you anyways or try to bring up things that make you look bad anyways. It's like, yo, Dana, should we do one about you too? Like, we should do that too, right? If Marjorie gets a mixtape, I think you should too. Have you done or said anything that's kind of weird or wild or blatantly dishonest? We have to run through that one, wouldn't we, Dana Bash? Also, are you single? I get your phone number or something. I like CNN ladies, okay? Forgive me. Anyway, is that out of pocket? Whatever. All right, here we go. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to someone clearly trying to, once again, set her up to make her look bad. Here we go.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then, and I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
We could do better than that, Marjorie. I know, guys, nitpicking. I'm not nitpicking, bro. That is, to me, the real answer. Honesty. But let's keep it moving. So, damn, did I put this out of order? Or did I forget something? I might have forgot something. Fuck. Where's Maddie at? Here he is. There we go. So we already played this clip, but you can see here from Matt Walsh. Leftists celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. How many? Who? Who and how many? If it ain't in the millions, shut the fuck up. Like, of course some dummies are going to do that. There were people celebrating Kurt Cobain's death. Just like there was kids committing suicide because Kurt committed suicide, allegedly. Like, come on. Like, we see these behaviors all over the fucking place. Other, like, clout chasing. From clout chasing to dumb, lonely kids that don't know any better. And they haven't taken a chance to try to understand the world at all. They just think, oh, fuck, woe is me. Or they heavily dedicated towards playing on a team, which is something that Matt Walsh tries to foment with statements like this. Leftists celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder and then elected an AG who openly fantasizes about killing us and our children. And now Republicans are going on CNN to apologize for their toxic rhetoric. What the hell is going on? Well, I mean, I don't do the appeals to authority and guilt by association type stuff, but if I see Matt Walsh, all right, whatever. I'm not even gonna say because it's a joke because I can't stand that shit. It was gonna be a joke about like if you see Matt Walsh praising someone, run away as fast as you can from that person. If you see him shitting on someone, maybe give him a listen. I don't know. It's a joke. I don't mean that for real. It's a joke. But Matt Walsh, I've been saying, is full of shit for a while now. There's been numerous IQ tests about this guy making statements about particular topics, especially when they're happening, like a Gaza situation. Well, how do you expect Israel to destroy Hamas? Like, that just showcases the guy knows nothing about the topic at all. But he'll say his answers anyways. I showed you when he was he wasn't really he was getting a lesson from Ryan Graham about what the U.S. has done in Haiti, and he's like, "Oh well, no real answers, right?" That is Matt Walsh to a T. So his voice is just it's like almost negative value because he even puts it in the left-right paradigm again. Leftists celebrated Charlie's murder. Now Republicans are going on CNN. It's like clear as day, narrative spinning and trying to get you to jump on a team. When in reality, we should be looking at corruption wherever the fuck we find it, in my opinion. But here we have Marjorie Taylor Greene responding to someone talking about the same thing, right? And you see Mike Cernovich here, he's a weirdo. This guy's a fucking weirdo. Probably another bought and paid for content creator or influencer, right? He says, "Bendy the knee to the enemy." Bending the knee. That didn't like what we just listened to. It didn't sound like she was bending the knee to anyone, right? Yes, it was campy and hokey and kind of a naive idea of things. Like, be nice, be respectful. We're all American here. Come on, guys. All right, but it wasn't bending the knee. I didn't hear that part. But don't worry, these guys get just like Matt Walsh does. Although maybe not him. I don't think he's important enough. But Cernovich for sure. These guys get calls from the White House to say, "All right, do you need to spin things this way? Thanks, buddy. Yeah, make sure you're here at 5 o'clock though for your appointment. Yeah, make sure you grease up those knees. I don't want you to get rug burn on your knees for me anymore. Okay? Bring the lube." Cernovich is one of those guys. So, in response to him, Marjorie Taylor Greene says, "Wrong. Jesus told his disciples, 'If you love me, you will obey my commands.'" Okay? Jesus commands us to forgive one another, and even it ties our own forgiveness to our willingness to forgive, as Jesus said in the Lord's Prayer. Now, once again, on the surface, like that's when I make references to Jesus, I'm going with like the on the surface thing, where it's like clearly the Prince of Peace isn't saying, lock down the borders and protect your guns, but the name is abused either way, right? They'll abuse it for their own purposes. They get to pass U.S. policy to destroy other people, to blow up babies. They will invoke the so-called Prince of Peace. I'm just saying. And on the surface, it screams the opposite would be the case. Which is why I make that joke about Jesus floating down. Like, okay, now you have to like think about your rights and wrongs, because now, like, instead of God being a thing, like an identity, right? An identity thing, your religion or something like that, it becomes actually real at that point. And thus you have to start looking over all your little decisions you've ever made. Like, damn, what did I do yesterday? What am I going to do tomorrow? Have I fucked up before? What did I do? Because God became tangible and real at that moment versus kind of a fashion statement that we see today, right? Kind of a mysterium fashion statement instead of actually skin in the game, applicable morality, righteousness, spirituality, and all that stuff. It's like we have to be real about that. But anyways, as he was being nailed to the cross, Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, for they not know what they do." I wonder how many people we do that to today. Can you imagine? Obeying Jesus and forgiving and asking for a right for forgiveness is not bending the knee. It's walking in obedience to Christ, our Lord, and putting our faith into action. Once again, I would personally don't believe in that way of thinking. I think you should be standing next to Jesus, not below him. Pause. Right? You believe in the guy, and he's as righteous and loving as the character is meant to be portrayed. I want you to stand next to him, not behind him and, bowing down. Otherwise, we'll get nothing done ever. We'll just be relying on another authority figure. Anyways. Nothing has changed about me except I refuse to continue to be part of the evil, toxic insanity of the political industrial complex that is ripping our country apart. It's getting us nowhere and doesn't solve any of the problems facing my children's future. I mean, I agree with that, but she needs more IQ tests, in my humble opinion. Like, there need to be scenarios thrown at her for where she can showcase that she does, quote unquote, know the right thing to do, at least by my standards. I hope you're doing the same thing. Hope you're not just like, "Oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene, our goddess." Another authority figure, right? Actually try to look at her as a human being, as a person, and find out what she really means. Does she really mean well? Could she be full of shit? On and so forth. But I expect deification. Just like this fool got deified. You see right here from the Donald Trump Truth Social, because truth is there. truth is there, and it's social. Let's read. Although I hate reading, and he writes. Sorry, his staffers write this long ass shit, making me read this. How dare you? As I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide, and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetrated by radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party. I mean, how many lies can you stuff into one little phrase right there? Uh, oh, fuck. I mean, the flip flopping around, like you're just making it worse sounding. First, you say there's nothing there. Or sorry, first you say you're going to release them during your campaigning, right? Or you imply it, you wink, wink, and nod that you're going to release these things, or maybe your future teammates, your future cabinet are saying these things. Then you get in office, you release a binder of, the Epstein files, part one or whatever the fuck, right? And there's shit we already knew was in there. Actually, less than what things we already knew was in there. Then people keep asking about it. Actually, the news asked Pam Bondi specifically about it, and you cut them off and say, whoa, hold on. We're still talking about this? Why are we talking about this? Guy was a creep. There's nothing else to say about it. Let's move on. And then people kept asking about it. Like, all right, it's not real. It's all a hoax. Nothing's really in there. And you start like trickling things out, like a little bit of info here or there, a security footage tape, something like that. And people are like, yo, this is not enough. This is nothing. What do you guys want from me? Come on. Then they people keep wanting to know about things, right? About Epstein. You send the deputy AG to go interview Ghislaine Maxwell and you handed her a list of names and said, all right, pick someone that looks sus to you, or that you know about is sus. And also say that Donald Trump is such a nice, warm, loving man. Also say that too, Ghislaine. Which is what happened, and then people are like, this is not good enough either. All right, fine. We'll release all of it. Which we don't even know if that's going to be the case either. And it's like, wait a minute. You're telling us that no one cares about this. It's not important. But you're doing all these fucking maneuverings to keep it away from the public. And in fact, they might do something weird about this, which is focus more so on, these, you see Democrats here. The Department of Justice has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein. That's bullshit. I mean, well, it's not bullshit, but it's things we already had. Are looking at various Democrat operatives, Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, etc. Most likely because he probably knows there's not much on them in there, right? I would think the point is to make no one look bad, right? As much as people think, oh, it's Republican versus Democrat, like, nah. I think a lot of it is to make no one look bad is what Trump's probably going to do. And their relationship to Epstein and the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I don't care. That's what children say when they, get caught with something. I don't care. But, yo, you're a little bitch. I don't care. Got the dumpster. All I do care about is that Republicans get back on point, which is the economy, affordability, where we are winning big. That's a lie. Our victory on reducing inflation from the highest level in history to practically nothing. Good luck. Bringing down prices for the American people. That's a lie. Delivering historic tax cuts for the rich. Gaining trillions of dollars of investment into America through shady business deals and weapon contracts and whatever, money to Argentina. The rebuilding of our military, neocon. Securing our border, more neocon and John Bolton-style policy. Deporting criminal illegal aliens. You've rounded up Americans as well. Ending men and women's sports. You wouldn't survive in either sport, Trump. Stopping transgender for everyone. I don't know whoever said that. And so much more. Nobody cared about Jeffrey Epstein when he was alive. That's wrong. And if the Democrats had anything, they would have released it before our landslide election victory. Once again, he's portraying that these establishment Democrats are like the opposite team, when in reality, they mostly work together. Some of the worst policies we've seen in our lifetimes come from both sides, right? They come from corrupt establishment Republicans and corrupt establishment Democrats, which is why Donald Trump will work hard to primary Thomas Massie or Marjorie Taylor Greene, but boost up people like Lindsey Graham and Marco fucking Rubio. There's a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, obviously. Some members, quote-unquote members, of the Republican Party are being used, and we can't let that happen. I guess once again, I think he's saying Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, probably Rand Paul as well. Let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. Make America great. So Trump is protecting Democrats when he tries to stop the Epstein files. Got it. Got it. So another, bullshit. Like I think I damn near every sentence had a lie in it, which is crazy. This is mostly lies, which is his response to all this. All right, fine, guys, we'll release it. Jeez, leave us alone. While claiming it's Democrats that want this to come out all of a sudden. Meanwhile, it's like, it's your own voter base. I've been crying for the Epstein files for a long time. And a lot of them have seen you as a betrayer because of that. Now, Trump fans, MAGA, ex-MAGA, or ex-Trump fans, if you fall for this, and they're like, all right, we finally got them working towards our side. If you fall for this, you might be Nick Fuentes. Don't be someone that, like, isn't like vanity kind of a sin? Isn't that like a thing? I don't know, but I won't call this vanity. I'll call it the Jimmy Dore effect, where if you're mean to Jimmy Dore, he'll point out all your corruptions and he'll rant and rave about it if you try to make him look bad. If you dick ride Jimmy Dore, he will ignore all your faults. And I wonder if Nicky Boy, because he's like, oh man, he actually he didn't praise Nick, but he said, you know what? Well, allow Nick to have his platform with Tucker Carlson. What's the big deal? Let him talk. And Mr. Crisis King here is now like, thank you, Mr. President. It's like, but hasn't he been doing corrupt shit the whole time? Right, Nick? Why can't you say, although what he's saying is correct, which is the way things are supposed to be, you don't need a fucking thank you for it. That's the way things are supposed to be. What's it gonna do in regards to policy dealing with this and this and this and this? Right? Shouldn't that be where Nicky Boy comes? Like, that should be his stance, right? Or is it all about Nicky Boy? Is it all for him? If you praise him, he loves you. If you diss him, he'll say whatever rhetoric towards you. And I'm like, yo, Nick, how am I supposed to tell, like, what's real and what's fake? How do you do it? Like, you sound like this guy. Once again, the character of Trump. You praise him, he's like, oh, what a beautiful man, what a beautiful person. Thank you, Mr. Al-Qaeda, what a wonderful man. Big, strong shoulders. And if you say anything that makes him look bad, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a pariah, get rid of her, let's primary her, she's terrible, she's been brainwashed by the left, the far left, radical leftists. Right? Like, that's what you sound like right here, Nick. This is the most you can come up with this statement? And what makes you believe it? That's another thing. What makes you think he's not just doing this for PR because maybe he's in the shit a bit? Maybe he went to a fucking Commanders game and got booed the shit out of. And he's like maybe starting to smell the roses a little bit. Like, oh fuck, maybe let me do some PR to make this look a little bit better. Let's try to put people back to sleep just for a little bit. And I'm going to be watching like a fucking hawk for all the people that are like, oh my God, Trump has changed. I'll be watching. All the ones that say that without bringing up, like, well, he's murdered people too. He also murders people. A lot of people. Corrupt policies. Corrupt business policies for his friends. Not for you. For his rich friends. $40 billion to Argentina to make America great again. Does that make sense? And if it was a different president, he said, I wouldn't give the money. Yeah, there you go. And once again, if you need that extra explained, you're a fucking dingbat. I'm sorry to tell you. Someone should have told you a long time ago. But all right, let's play what Trump said, mainly about Tucker Carlson, but I guess Nick Fuentes is a part of it. Here we go.
I've had some great interviews with Tucker Carlson, but you can't tell him who to interview. I mean, if he wants to interview Nick Fuentes, I don't know much about him.
No, you
if
don't.
he wants to do it, get the word out. Let him, people have to decide. Ultimately, people have to decide. The mayor of New York, I will say, would like to meet with us, and we'll work something out. But he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
You yourself had dinner with Nick Fuentes.
Isn't that your enemy, though, guys? He's the communist left guy you endorsed Andrew Cuomo for, like, against or whatever. Like, that makes sense, guys? No, he's learning to work with both sides. He's like, he's getting it. Like, no. Don't be fucking tricked, you fucking idiots. I'll be watching like a hawk. From comments to other content creators, I will be watching. So I'm very curious how they start dancing around with this one. That I've said this for years and years. Hey, man, you can't just say some words and all of a sudden everything's hunky-dory. You have to really mean it. And the best way for me to see if you mean something is to use, like, in my mind, like, I'll use my logic of, like, okay, if you really believe in this idea of being righteous or fair or honorable, your actions would look something like this and not like that. So we'll see. But I don't believe it for a fucking second. Just saying. And obviously, like, you don't have to go with my main idea of things because it's a little bit out there, but I'd be like, hey, man, if you really want to, like, try to clean things up in regards to corruption, because I think that's where your starting point should be as a elected leader. It should be try to cleaning up corruption. He might have to start with himself. Hey, here's all the things I've done that are bad, that he would understand, that regular people would call bad, because how do I know that? Because he has to hide them. Right? He has to keep them very quiet. Tell everyone those things. Once again, I'm not begging for his arrest or anything like that, but, like, name all the corrupt things you've taken part in your entire fucking life that you can remember. All of it. Sit down with a psychoanalyst and go through every little fucking thing. But they're not going to do that. We, for some reason, in America, we accept politicians that learn on the fly. Instead of being like, you shouldn't be here in the first place. If you're learning on the job, in this particular job, get the fuck out of here. You're not a fucking Amazon worker or some shit like that where you can learn on the fly. This is about, like, dealing with people's lives and trying to manage people's lives. This is not a learn on the fly fucking job. So that means you should, like, quit right now. But, you know, based on my standards, right? You should quit right now. I'm here to make the world a better place. I quit as being president of the United States. Damn, I think we just got better there. That statement, that action alone, I think we've improved. Because clearly this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. If he means well, which I doubt, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it for a fucking second. But let's say he did mean well. He is the most incompetent motherfucker on planet Earth. Find me a Little League dad and put him in instead. Because this is beyond incompetence. It's something different. But then again, I don't believe that. But let's let him continue here. I think it's a follow-up question about Nick Fuentes, I guess, having dinner with him and Kanye West. Here we go.
Work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
You yourself had dinner with Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. What role should he play in the conservative movement?
Well, I didn't know he was coming, and he was with, as you know, somebody, Kanye. And Kanye asked if he could have dinner, and he brought Nick. I didn't know Nick at the time. And he did. He came, and along with a few other people. He brought a few people with him. Meeting people, talking to people, like for somebody like Tucker, that's what they do. You know, people are controversial. Some are, some aren't. I'm not controversial, so I like it that way.
Okay. That's interesting, right? I mean, there's... When I have these... I'll say these things sometimes where I'm talking about Tucker Carlson. I'm like, yeah, how come you don't really critique Trump, really? Kind of avoid him. And he's almost like Kyle Kalinske, where it's like the topic and kind of somewhat of the main narrative of the video is like, okay, I kind of agree with this. I kind of agree with it. But then you have like certain portions of that same video where it's like, there's no way an honest person says this. There's no way you're honest and saying this at the same time. It doesn't make sense to me. And Tucker does that a lot, just like Kyle does. Like with the Thomas Crooks documentary where I'm like, I don't really know much about the topic. I'm kind of learning it as I'm listening to Tucker talk about it. And he's throwing these little things in there of like, yeah, Thomas Crook sounds like a MSNBC guy. He sounds like Antifa, or he's working with some guy that's a part of Antifa when the screen says the exact opposite. I mean, text on the screen that he's saying is Antifa base, European Antifa or some shit like that, right? Meanwhile, the words say the exact opposite. Like, literally the exact opposite. And I'm like, what? Why would you put it in that context then? Like, do you take your audience for being idiots? Or was it a simple mistake? Or did you have your own blinders on, just wanting to see Antifa to make yourself feel better about, X, Y, or Z? What was your point of doing that? It's like, and then someone like Trump as well, or in regards to Trump, Tucker does these things where he's like, hey man, you're mad about Israel? Hey man, you're mad about bombing boats in Venezuela? You're mad about these policies, arresting college students and trying to deport them for having wrongthink. Where does that come from, Tucker? Now, you don't have to say it's all Trump's fault, because I don't believe that either. Yeah, you could point out Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Marco Rubio and these guys and Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham. But let's be honest, Trump's been rolling with them the entire time. Then when I hear statements where Tucker's talking to Megyn Kelly, and he's like, oh no, Trump, I love Trump. Actually, I just talked to him the other day. And it's like, wait a minute. All these corrupt things that you cry about, the Iranian war you're trying to avoid, who do you think is selling these narratives? Or at least a heavy part in doing so. It's Donald fucking Trump. And it's like, why do you do that? Why do you avoid that guy? Was he nice to you? Did he shake your hand a certain way and look you in the eye? You're like, man, what a real man. I like this guy. Or are you bullshitting us? Dancing around the fucking thing. The guy you helped campaign and support and get voted in? But yeah, that's the guy you did that with, Tucker. Why can't you point out, hey, maybe you fucked up? In fact, I think you fucked up badly. But don't worry, just scream Israel and your fans won't even notice you're doing that. Cha-ching. All right, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. From Marjorie to Trump's rambling on Truth Social to even Nick Fuentes. Thank you, Mr. President. It's like, does this guy blow up babies, Nick? I thought you were against that. And it almost feels like that kind of what do they call them? Fair weather fans, I think is what they're called. The Jimmy Dore effect. If they praise you, they're awesome. If they diss you, bad people. Go fuck those guys work for Israel, don't they? I think they work for Israel. Right, Nicky boy? Sippy cup Nick. But yeah, tell me in the comment section. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome, just nothing pornographic or grotesque. But yeah, all opinions, welcome. Everything I showed you will be linked in the description box for you to look at on your own. You don't have to hear me yapping or anything like that. You can look through it yourself. Maybe you'll see what I see. Maybe you see something different. Yeah, if you see something different, just tell me in the comment section, please. Go ahead. Dare you to. And most importantly, with all that said, give this
Stop
video.
crying.
Shut up. Give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.